we're not actually trying to be blind. Wouldn't it make sense though? Why does the jury get to see the victim and the person doing the crime? Why do we get to look at them if justice is supposed to be blind? Don't you think that's contradictory?
Yeah.
Because I could just look at you and go, I don't like something going on over there. I'm going to say that person's guilty, right? But if I'm blindfolded, I don't know what you look like. I can only hear you. And from that, I can only hear what the evidence is. We already discussed what is the meaning behind the scales. So again, scales are used to balance and weigh things, right? So you might have to balance and weigh out. You know, what was the crime? What is this person's history? What was the motive? Do you think the motive for a crime matters, or is crime absolute? So you shook your head no, you said yes. Let's hear some answers. Do you understand what I mean by this? Like motive. Like, do your intentions matter?
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
100%. Why?
Because.
Wait, hold on. What is this? He raised his hand. Hey.
It's not very nice.
It's not very nice at all. Okay, he raised his hand. We'll hear from you next. Raise your hand. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the motive absolutely matters. So say if I were to
kill someone.
No. Let's just make up a scenario. I am in a fight with somebody and I kill them by accident. Okay,
So basically
that
what
is
I said.
still murder. Okay, stop. No, it's still murder, but it totally. Was I trying to kill them? No. So, under justice, that could be not first-degree murder because I didn't plan it out and it wasn't intentional, but it could be like manslaughter and yeah.
Do you want to add?
But like, what if you just like lied, so you didn't mean to?
Yeah.
Like you were.
Okay, so I'll break that down in a moment. Did you want to add something? Because you were upset. You didn't get to speak.
No, he just said what I said, but longer.
Okay.
Did you even
Okay.
say anything?
So let's break that down with what you said over there. So let's say somebody attacks me, and I block, defend, overhand, right? And they fall to the ground, and then I jump on them, and I just start hitting them, right? And there's like a camera nearby, and they're recording me just beating them. Does that change the scenario?
Yes.
Why? But because I got hit first.
Because.
Let's hear.
Well, I don't know, because you kind of already knocked him down. You could just walk away, but then you kept on going.
Beating him.
Right? So there's excessive force.
Yes.
Something that the police use on occasion. Okay? Yeah. So in Canada, we have some very weird laws around even self-defense, right? So like, let's say somebody hits me and I hit them back. They fall and hit their head and hurt themselves. I could be in a lot of trouble for that, even though they attacked me. But if you go beyond in excess and you start beating this person's head and on the ground and their head's bouncing off the pavement and maybe like true story, one of my basketball coaches in high school, apparently there's footage out there of him in a lacrosse game. He's beating some guy. He punches him while he's down. He broke his wrist and started hitting him with the other hand, right? That's excessive, right? At that point, it transcends like, oh, well, I didn't mean to, right? So there's a great story in the Bible with this fellow named Moses, okay? So Moses saw an Egyptian whipping a Hebrew. And in the Bible, it says he struck him and the man died. One punch murder power, right? Now, he didn't intend to kill him. He just wanted to stop him. And he didn't plan it out, right? So the intention does matter, right? Because like, what if you're in the foods lab and I hear some of you kids struggle with food safety and you need to work on that, right? What if you're in the foods lab and you're like walking around with a knife and you turn like this, right? Never do this. Never do this. What should we never do? What should we never do? Because you were talking. What should we never do? No, wrong. You shouldn't do that either. But if you're in the foods room, grade 9s, and you're dealing with a knife,
Don't
never swing like this, right?
Don't
So
try to catch it when you drop it. Or don't hold the
Yeah.
knife out.
Just keep them in the drawer.
Remember when I
Right.
exploded hold it sauce?
if you, grade 9s, were to, let's say while you're in the foods room, you move, you don't realize somebody's right behind you and you cut them. You know, should these scales, should we weigh that, well, you didn't intend to hurt this person. You didn't know they were behind you. Maybe they were in a space they shouldn't have been. Should the scales consider that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would say that's what the balance is about, the scales, weighing out the options, right? Because you don't want to just say, well, this is what happened, so here's the punishment. Because what if it was completely unintentional? Right? Like what if you play a little prank on your friend, they're walking backwards, you trip them, but they go full tilt, they smash their head on pavement, they die. Like that, because that can happen. Right?
You would do that to me.
And what if you were just playing a harmless joke but someone died? Should we send you to jail for the rest of your life for murdering someone?
No.
No, never.
Should you see a prison?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you still killed someone.
We didn't mean
I didn't
That doesn't matter,
mean
but
to,
someone kills
Your
someone.
Honor.
My finger slipped.
That's their.
Like obviously it won't be the same as an intentional.
What do you think
Exactly.
the scroll implies? Whoa, hold on. We're recording. What does the scroll imply?
Go.
Go ahead.
That's okay, not though.
Okay. The scroll. She's got a piece of paper. What is this
The
about?
law.
The law?
The law.
The law. There we go, right? Now, I will up front, I'll just say it to you two because you're always chatting. So in English common law, the scroll, so we look at examples. So we say like, Timmy and Jimmy were playing and Timmy tripped Jimmy and Jimmy died. But Timmy didn't mean to kill Jimmy. And so the judge who makes a decision, moving forward, we base ourselves. This is English common law. We say, okay, what did Judge Romeo apply in the case of Timmy and Jimmy? Okay, said that Timmy is going to get 4 years jail time.
Please excuse the interruption. If any grade 10 students requiring retakes could make their way down to the common area.
Timmy's going to get 4 years jail time because Jimmy is dead. But because Timmy didn't intend to, they were playing, we're not going to make it 12 years or life. Okay, so then we write that down, and then the next time, like let's say Billy and Bobby are playing and they trip one another, we go, oh, what did Judge Romeo decide with Timmy and Jimmy? Okay, we build on case to case. Okay, so that could also be the scroll, but also we talked about rule of law, right? So let's say Jimmy is just like a peasant, but Timmy's dad is like sure, let's say a lawyer's son or a king, someone high up in society. We shouldn't go, oh, poor Timmy, this will look so bad on his dad, Billy Bob. Okay? We don't want to make Billy Bob look bad. So we're just not going to apply the law to Timmy who killed someone by accident, I might add. Okay? So that's also what the scroll represents. Ooh, let's hear it. She is a woman because the idea of Lady Justice goes back to Greek mythology, and justice is a female goddess. Interesting. Okay. The scales also weigh the facts and determine guilt or innocence. Okay. Let's see, what else? Yeah, and so the blindfold, we should be blind to everything but the facts. But in practicality, the judge looks at the people. The jury, do we understand what a jury is?
Yes.
Right? They're also looking at you, and they're going to make decisions and perceptions. And they're going to act on those, right? So in theory, maybe justice is blind, but in practice, you're allowed to use your eyes and just look at people and make a decision. Okay. The scroll represents the laws set out that must be followed. More often, Lady Justice carries a sword, which is held below the scales to show that there's a threat of punishment. I like that version better. But it comes after the facts are weighed. Okay? So maybe the only thing, and go figure this is in Canada, the only thing missing from this statue is a sword.
What?
Right? To tell people that if you do break the law, there is a consequence. But many people might express the sentiment that that's not really felt in Canada. Who is this? Right Honorable Beverly McLachlan to the Empire Club of Canada. This is 2007. Here's a quote: "Nothing is more important than justice and a just society. It is essential to the flourishing of men, women, and children, and to maintaining social stability and security." In this country, we realize that without justice, we have no rights, no peace, no prosperity. We realize that once lost, justice is difficult to reinstate. We in Canada are the inheritors of a good justice system, one that is the envy of the world. Let us face our challenges squarely and thus ensure that our justice system remains strong and effective. Okay, this is very true. You know, there are countries, so for example, I come from Pakistan, and in Pakistan, they don't necessarily have what we call rule of law. For example, the Constitution of Pakistan discriminates against my religious group, and people in Pakistan frequently will destroy the property of or murder individuals from my community, and many of the perpetrators never see jail time, they never see a punishment because it's deemed okay, right? So there are many countries where the rule of law, where there is no court system, where if you take something from me, there's nothing I can do against you other than maybe kill you, right? That's why a lot of more ancient and archaic legal systems like deal with equal responses, right? Have you ever heard the phrase eye for an eye?
Yeah.
You know where that phrase comes from?
Greed? What?
No, this was the law given to the Hebrews, to the Jews,
Oh, yeah.
right? This is Judaic law, right? An eye for an eye, ear for an ear, tongue for a tongue, that kind of thing, right? What that means is that if you steal something from me, I should be able to have that in return. Maybe there is some, also I'll just note I'm no professional.